So is this why we love baseball, or is this why we get frustrated with baseball? Last night is why I love the game. It's another episode of Red Sox Now presented by Fan Arch here on YouTube. I'm MikeAntonellis. I work with the Woo Sox, with the Worcester Red Sox. We never say Red Sox when we call the games. We say Woo Sox. One of their radio and TV broadcasters. We have 3 series left, and I will be there next week. Always try to give you guys updates. Peyton Tolley is pitching this week. We will certainly recap all of that. And I'll give you a little update on David Sandlin, who did the reliever thing last night down to 1 inning. We'll get to your comments. We'll talk about our catcher. And, I think Roman Anthony's pretty good. But here's the thing I love about the game. And I hope, again, before we get into it, happy Wednesday to all of you. I can't thank you enough. Every day we have great dialogue, great comments. You keep subscribing. We need you to subscribe more. We still have, at times, well, not as much. We'll have more views than subscribers, but we're on our way to 1,500. And I couldn't be happier, and thank all of you so much. So I thought, what would be a good goal? I was thinking, what would be a good number for subscriptions by maybe the playoffs or by the end of the season? Well, it's got to be a baseball number, right? 3,000. 3,000 hits is what gets guys into the Hall of Fame. So if we can get to 3,000 subscribers before the end of the Red Sox season, and maybe that's the World Series, that'd be cool. That would be cool. I had the 1,000 subscriber thing. I think I had September 1st, and we hit that in July. So thank you so much. I love all your kind words. I love the interaction. I love when all of you interact with each other and fans, and you guys comment on each other. So that's good stuff. But just to go back to what I was saying, like Lou Maloney said it. You win game 1 with Buehler, and you're feeling pretty good about the next 3 with Giolito, Bayo, and Crochet. That's why yesterday I talked about a slice of humble pie, because this game humbles you when you expect things. And Alex Cora even said that he expected that Crochet would be able to reset their bullpen, and it didn't happen. And Dustin May was really good last night. Now, we've all said this. Yeah, we certainly have question marks about the back end of the pitching. Most of you know I was a fan of Dustin May because I liked the trade because of the stuff. Because you're getting a guy that's a high upside guy. His stuff, his repertoire is better than Richard Fitz. It's better than Kyle Harrison. He's had injuries, a lot of injuries, and he's had trouble at times commanding it. But if you look at the pure repertoire of Dustin May, it profiles more than it's like a 3-starter. Is his stuff not as good as Lucas Giolito? I mean, he has the ability to be that guy, and I thought those kind of guys are hard to find, high upside, and I didn't mind that. And I still don't care about who you gave up. I get with Tibbs and all that, but it's still an outfielder. You're fine in the outfield, and that's a position you can always buy. But you can't buy guys like this. Now, he did have a good game last night. We know there's this with him, but they've changed him. They want more of the cutter, which he used 20%. I have his usage right here. 37% sweepers, which he got a 68% strike rate. And he got 6 swings and misses. He went 23% sinker, 21% four-seam fastball, where he threw a lot of strikes. I mean, he threw a lot of strikes in general. And his cutter, which they want him throwing more, I think he used 2% of the time with L.A. He threw it 20% last night. So you can see what they really want. A lot of heavy, fast stuff in that sweeper. So he used his 4 pitches. He threw them all for strikes. That's a starter to me. His velo, fastball was 94 to 97. He topped that at 98. His sinker is in the same neighborhood. His cutter, 90 to 91, topped that at 92, and he throws his sweeper hard. His sweeper is 84 to 86. That's like a hard slider. And the max velo was at 88. So I thought he looked good. I love how he competes on the mounds. And he had a lot of strikeouts. 6 innings, 5 hits, a walk, struck out 8. Red Sox, by the way, rolled 14-1. They scored a couple off position player late, but so what? They had some big innings. But I really like that kind of arm in the back end because there is a lot of upside to it. That's what you're looking for in trades. You really are. Need to go to the coffee. And I hope you're having a great morning. And getting your coffee in, right? That's important. But, back to the, finding starting pitching at the deadline was impossible. And I was only looking at it for now. That's the thing. I don't care about next year. And they needed bodies, right? With Dobbins getting hurt, with Harrison not ready, with Fitz not performing. But some of that's changed. Harrison's been better. I don't think he's ready to pitch in the big leagues. Fitz has been a lot better. Criswell, we know, can start. And Connolly early has been pretty good. So I just think for what we were looking for in a fifth starter, you look at Arrighetti who threw last night. He was pretty good. He's a lower rotation guy. Is Dustin May got stuff comparable to him? I think so. But I just love the arm. I love the stuff. I don't care about ERA. I don't care about all that stuff. I'm more visual. It's just from watching baseball as long as I have, and it's just when you see a guy with that kind of repertoire and that kind of stuff, you take chances on it. It might not work. And there's an inconsistency part to him. But I thought last night he was terrific. Justin Wilson went the one inning. And Giovanni Moran, who I'm so happy for, he was in Worcester. And Giovanni Moran was pretty good in the big leagues with the Twins. And he's coming off Tommy John. He was hurt earlier in his career. He went the final two. He gave up a run, but he throws 5 pitches. Fastball, change, slider, cutter, curveball. And he throws fastball 53% of the time. The Red Sox have scrapped that no fastball plan, which I love. But he was fastball. His changeup was really good. He got a lot of strikes with both those pitches, the fastball, changeup, and that's pretty much all you need, out of the bullpen. But I like that lefty, and the Red Sox have built a lot of different looks in the last month or so, and opinions on guys have changed. Manager Chad Tracy in Worcester said this is the best pitching he's ever been around. He joined the club as manager in 22, and it is, and there's a lot of good arms that are waiting in the wings, which I think, makes it extremely exciting. I will give you an update. David Sandlin, 2 outings stretched out as a reliever. Began the year as a starter at AA. 35 pitches, first 2 outings. Not back, but then the plan to transition to a 1-inning guy did not look good last night. Could not throw strikes. Had to get taken out, did not finish the inning. Struck out the last guy he faced at 100, I believe. It was 99.9. He walked the bases loaded, but struck out the last guy. So this is what I was talking about before with these young kids. You got to give it, you can't just throw these guys in the bullpen and think it's going to work. It's not easy. There's going to be an element of him that's, I got 1 inning. I want to impress. I want to get to he knows what's going on. He knows they're doing this because they want to get him to the big leagues, and that's he's a kid. Right now, as we speak today, he's not ready to pitch in the big leagues, and he might not be ready next week. And those are my thoughts on Christian Campbell. Campbell's hitting, but still, he made another error first base. He's still rough defensively, and it's just not worth the gamble when I feel like your offense has been pretty, it's been good. It has its times, we know. But there's no incentive right now when you're trying to win to let guys figure it out in the big leagues right now. Pitching is different. Young pitchers can go up there. If you throw 100, that can play. But I'll keep you updated on all that. Tyler Uberstein threw well as well. And we'll keep you updated with Harrison pitching this week and Tolley. So some good stuff. Yeah, remember when I said I didn't love Roman Anthony leading off because I wanted the fast guy leading off? I think this is working. Alex Cora knows what he's doing. This is working. He's getting that extra at-bat in key spots all the time. He reached his base 5 times last night. And you see, like I told people, if he wants to hit home runs, he can. He doesn't need, he is going to hit home runs. 1 for 2 leading off. He did this in Worcester, and you don't know if this is going to translate in the big leagues. And I know this might sound crazy to some. I still think maybe there's a part that are still underrating him right now and don't realize, like, he is, I still put Bregman up here. He's not that far behind, right? Like, it's going to get to the point where you're like, yeah, they're both really good. But here's where I mentioned this about being somewhat underrated. The kid was 20 this year. He barely played in AAA last year. He was the top like, you think about it, he's the guy. It's hard when you're the guy sometimes. Top prospect in all of minor league baseball. He didn't disappoint for a second in the minors at any stop. He had maybe a little, he had some struggles at times, a couple struggles, barely. Like, he had a couple, 3-game stints twice where he struggled. But he was the man all year. He turns 21. I mean, you think about what they did. Now it's pretty obvious they were holding out, calling him up until they traded Devers. And then they essentially put him in the spot of Devers. Like, you're okay, you're our DH now. And what did he do? He just plays. It just, you can tell that's his side of the game. We are so, what we'll get more is people will run to his Baseball Savant page. And I understand that, but just, you got to look at the human side of all of this. And the things they've asked him to do at 21 years old. In his first taste of the big leagues. Okay, you're going up there. You're going up there with all the drama with Devers. Oh, you're DHing. Oh, we're trading him. You're the guy now. Oh, you're going to play right field. Oh, you're going to play left field. You're going to lead. I mean, they hit him third. They hit him in the middle of the lineup right away. You're going to lead off, by the way. And what has he done with everything? He's just done it. Like, it's no big deal. It's incredible what we're seeing before our eyes, how good this guy is and how he is. And I said it before he got called up. This is why he's a superstar. I said he'd be a superstar, and we all knew it. I mean, if you watched him play every day in AAA, and all of you already knew this too. We all wanted him up. But that kind of game last night, 4 walks and a home run, and you watch his approach. He just does not give in at anything. That's why he's going to probably hit 330 at some point. But it's just, this is really, really an incredible player and story right now. It really is. Listen to this. He's the only player in Red Sox history with 20 extra base hits, 25-plus walks in his first 52 career games, except for a guy named Ted Williams. And I've said this, he looks like the actor playing Ted Williams in the Ted Williams movie. Doesn't he? He's got that look. And I've always kind of thought this is like the second coming of Ted Williams. Maybe. Boy, that, you talk about pressure. But he got called up young too and was forced right into it. And so was Yaz and then Jim Rice. That they had all those left fielders, and then Mike Greenwell. They had like 4 left fielders over a span of 50 years. But every accolade, he just deserves more and more. It was a great night for the offense. Abreu stepped up with 3 RBIs. Yoshida had 2 more RBIs. You see, he's starting to hit when he's getting more at-bats. People wanted him out of there after 40 at-bats. They don't do that in the big leagues. They don't junk guys after 30 or 40 at-bats who have been proven. Bregman hit another home run. He had 2 hits. Story had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. And a 13-hit night for the offense, which was fantastic. Isn't it great to have this guy back? Boy, that home run just changed the game last night, didn't it? It just changed the game. Another one. If we want to throw in, I don't care that he's hitting 250. 10 home runs. Would you have expected this? Top-notch defense. Best defensive catcher in the game. A rookie who, what does this tell you about a guy? Had some injuries, barely played last night, goes 2 for 4 with a home run. I mean, This is a great piece to have. You really have to be good up the middle. And the Red Sox have that in Narvaez. They have it in Story. They have it. Obviously, I prefer Rafaela, but he's up the middle at second and a Gold Glover and Duran in center. But what a story, Narvaez, and a guy that has shown he had some struggles, some injuries, and he gets 2 hits last night and a big home run. But another, underrated thing this year. I know this is going to kill people to say that I'm going to say right now. There is a legit chance that Craig Breslow could be Executive of the Year. And I know a lot of you are still mad about the deadline. It's okay to be disappointed. Bregman, Crochet, Chapman, you traded for Narvaez. You were even Toro. When you lost Casas. And you made the decision. I know he didn't draft Anthony, but he made the decision. Now, I think I don't think that was hard decision to put Roman Anthony in the big leagues, but it was still under his watch. Justin Wilson was a great, huge signing. But the moves that they've made are exactly why they're a better club. And how about the race we have in the AL West? Seattle is now tied. And I think based on the head-to-head, they would win the division as of today. That means Houston is the wild card. It's Houston, Boston, New York. Cleveland is a game behind the Yankees. They are hanging in there. Texas is now 3.5 back. But when we go back and look at things that, that's why I kind of ignore some things sometimes. There was this whole thing about winning against the bad teams didn't matter. Really? When you took care of business, which you didn't do last year. Remember, you lost the series to the Rockies. You took care of business this year against the teams you should beat. And you're still neck and neck. Think about if you didn't. The Red Sox are still 26-11 in their last 37. I'll be honest with everyone here. If they play like they've been playing and say miss the wild card by a game, I'm not going to be mad because it could be a situation where 90 wins might not get in. Could Cleveland go 28-16 down the stretch for 90? They could do that. Yankees 26-16. Boston has to go 24-17. That's the magic number, 90. I think it will do it. But if Cleveland plays up here, it might not. But we'll see. All right, let's get to those comments from Tuesday, which we love and adore. They are so great. At Dave Sear-H5I, the handle of the day. All the Red Sox have to do is win one game in the series and have the tiebreaker, all caps, over the Astros, all caps. Dave, you are correct. Great research. That's huge. And they won that. And now they have a chance to win the series. And the goal that we set out, well, I set out, I think some of you agree with me, 3-3 or 2-4. Now I want the 3-3. And Walker Buehler has a chance to get 2 wins on the trip, and he faces Hunter Brown. And I know everyone's going, ugh. That's why we love this game. If your final 2 wins of the trip are in Houston with Dustin May and Walker Buehler, that's how teams go from here to here because you need guys to step up. And I think this team has gotten guys to step up. But this would be huge if you were able to go 3-3 with your the guys that are at the end of the rotation stepping it up. And this is why you paid Buehler a lot of money. At 78 Pettibone, great pitching and defense beats great hitting. Yep, especially in playoff baseball. Look at Walker Buehler's last start as an example. He executed. Obviously, there were outings, but consistency, executing pitching and defense will always play at any. Yeah. It doesn't matter what the track record is. Oh, he struggled in his last. Well, you're right. Great examples, Buehler and May. Look at how they threw the ball. Didn't matter what their ERA was. At Real Map Lazon, Lauzon. Some of these handles are probably like funny fake names that I'm not picking up on. Seems like last two outings, Crochet's four-seamer spent less time up in the zone than in the past. So he said, I was curious, and I didn't think this was an issue. He said he spun the ball too much in the first two innings. It looked really damn good, didn't it? Spun the ball too much, breaking ball, too much changeups. He said he doesn't usually do that early. I don't know if that was the scouting report, maybe more righties, but he just said he didn't show him his fastball as much. That's why guys establish it early. So he didn't like his approach. And, he had a long conversation with Alex Cora, so I think they were probably talking about that. So it's going to happen, man. It really is. All right, great show on this Wednesday. Appreciate all your comments. Keep them pouring in all day. I'll try to get to them as much as I can as we count down to we're getting to close to 120 episodes of Red Sox Now, which is pretty cool, and we're getting towards 1,500 subscribers, which we need you to do that. Subscribe, comment, and like, and share. Follow me on social at The Radio Mike, and you can follow me on my personal YouTube. You see it when I comment. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and go Sox.